Only took me 40 years to figure it out. I've just saved you 40 years. Aren't you happy? Tell the person next to you, I'm happy. He saved me 40 years. Okay, so the number one complaint when people chant japa is, I can't control my mind. I've taught japa workshops around the world almost 20 years now. The number one complaint. When I chant, my mind wanders. I think about what I have to do. You also? I make plans. We could do this. We could do that. If I just call this devotee, he can do this. Then we'll cook this. And then we'll go here. And my whole japa, I've got my whole next festival program planned out. Actually, I have the next 3 lifetimes worth of service planned out just during 16 rounds. That ever happened to you? Okay. My dear devotees, that is not the way we're supposed to chant japa. That I would call, it's like reading a book. You ever read a book and you're not concentrating? And someone comes in the room and said, so you've been reading for an hour. What are you reading? And you look up and say, I don't know. Because you've been daydreaming about something else, right? Okay, I'm going to go over this. It's very simple, but I'm going to go over it in detail and from as many angles as I can, because I want to make sure you get this. Because if you get this, you're going to be amongst the top 1 percentile of japa chanters in the 3 worlds. Would you like to be in the top 1%? Yeah. And it's so simple, you're going to think, why didn't I think of that? And I'll explain why you didn't think of it. Because Prabhupada said, it's so simple, you can miss it. You ever notice how sometimes something is so obvious you don't get it? Life is weird. Have you noticed that? I mean, I could say people are weird. I've noticed that also. But life is weird. Isn't it? Sometimes the most simple things you don't notice. So, let's imagine right now that I had the power to stop time. So time is stopped. So you don't have to worry now about the future because there isn't any. Time has stopped. Right? So you're not going to lose any time now when we chant. Right? You don't have to worry about the future. Just imagine there's no time. I've canceled time for the next 10 minutes. Right? So you don't have to think about anything because you're not going to lose any time. You're going to just come right, we'll chant, and you'll come right back to where we left off. All right? Let me translate that into something that you can do every day. The best time to chant japa is before you do anything else. Not before you get up, but after you get up, before you start your day. I mean, you can bathe and all that, but before you start your day, the best time is to chant in the morning, right? So, the problem, as we said, is, okay, now it's the morning and I'm chanting and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do today. So, let's pretend when you get up in the morning, tomorrow, you begin chanting, and tomorrow is Saturday. You tell yourself, Saturday hasn't started yet. Actually, there's no time right now. It's just japa time. And nothing else exists. It's just the day hasn't started. I don't have to think about the day. It hasn't begun yet. Right? That's what, if any of you ever chanted at 2 in the morning, you know how easy it is to chant. Because what are you going to think about at 2 in the morning? Breakfast? I don't think so. The office? That's 8 hours away. 6 hours away. No, it's too far away. What do you think about? Hare Krishna, Hare. There's nothing else to think about. Yes? Like, I mean, I'm not saying you've been up at 2 a.m, but if you ever have, it's just, it's too early for the day to start, so you naturally can get into your japa because the day's too far ahead. So in your mind, day hasn't begun. Isn't it a fact? If you ever get up that early, it's like, what do you do at 2 a.m? If that's when you get up. If you stay up all night, yeah, there's so many things to do. But if that's when you get up, there's nothing else to do. So what I would like you to try tomorrow morning is that when you get up, the day, it's not Saturday yet. Saturday starts when you have to actually do something other than sadhana. You can start it then. So let's just say you have to do something tomorrow at 8 o'clock, or you have to wake up your children at 7 o'clock, or you have to go to work at 9 o'clock. Think in your mind that Saturday has not started till 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whenever you have to start your day. And now, free time. It doesn't exist. We are not anywhere. I'm not in Texas. It's not Saturday. There's only one thing going on. It's just Japa. And now that I've cleared everything out, I can go into the holy name without interference. So here's the interesting thing to the I can't control my mind problem. Why do you think we can't control our mind when we chant? Because our day already started. That's why. So what happens when your day starts? Does your mind rev up and think about what you have to do when your day starts? Yes, of course, everybody. Now, those of us, or those of you who are retired, you may say, well, I don't have much to think about. You just think about all the aches and pains in your body when you chant. That's also a problem. Did that ever happen to you? You're chanting and my back, my leg. If we can come to a position when we're chanting that the present time has stopped completely, we're not in Austin, it's not 5:30 a.m., that all doesn't exist. The only thing exists is me and the holy name. Then that will be the last time you'll ever have to say, my mind, my mind, my mind. And the reason is your mind is shut off. It has nothing to do except chant. Does that make sense? So, would you like to do an experiment? Would you like to try this? So, we're going to try it in a minute. I just want to talk a little more about it and help you get in this position. And I think you're starting to understand that when you chant, if you have other things going on, they interfere with your chanting. And if you can remove those other things, it's so easy to chant. It's natural. It just happens. Have you ever tried to control your mind while you're chanting? To the point that you put in so much energy to control your mind, is after like 8 rounds, you're like, I can't do this, I gotta go, check my Facebook. Have you ever done that? Yes? Why would you want to spend time and energy trying to control your mind? That's a waste of energy when you don't have to. All you have to do is go, mind, boom, hit the red button, now you're off. I'll put the green button back on when I finish. And you have to consciously switch off. So here is the irony, the perfection of japa. Not that we're all there yet. The perfection of japa is to think of Krishna's leelas. That's the highest. Well, that's a higher stage than that, is to be in the leela. That's the high stage. You're no longer watching the leela, you are in the movie. That's amazing, right? Aditaka Haridas chant 192 rounds. If you're in the leela, you could do it also. Why would you want to stop? Why would you want to leave the leela? Come back and brush your teeth or something. Just stay in the leela. So that's the highest stage. So here's the irony. Here's the paradox. Whose Leela are you thinking about when you chant Hare Krishna? Parthasarati. Parthasarati. Whose Leela do you think about when you chant? Parthasarati Das's Leela or Parthasarati? If you're a bona fide brahmachari, when you're chanting around about 8 o'clock, you start meditating on what? Breakfast. I wonder what's having today for breakfast. Hare Krishna. Oh, they're having khichdi with that chutney. Have you ever done that? Any one of you ever done that? If you haven't done it, you are not a bona fide brahmachari. Leave ISKCON, you're bogus. So we're meditating on our Leela, we're meditating on our begums, what we want to eat, what my body's sore, my discomfort, my sniffles, my allergies. When we're supposed to be meditating on Krishna Leela. So how can you clear that all? It's so easy that most of us never thought. All we have to do is just tell the mind, okay, mind, we're chanting japa. So everything else in my life right now, pause button, it goes on hold. We come back when we finish. If you can do this, if you can practice this, you can master this, then everything else becomes easy. In fact, if you do this, automatically you get absorbed. Actually, I don't even have to teach you anything else if you master this. I will teach you other things, but if you master this, it opens up the perfect environment for japa. It's so. Have you ever been? Okay, let me give you an example. This is for mridanga players and musicians. How many musicians do we have here? Raise your hand. I might need another example. All right. But I'm a musician, so what other example could I give? Maybe a cooking example. Well, I'll give the musician example. Well, I think whatever you are, artist, cook, photographer, but seriously, if you have a really, really, really good mridanga, you will play better than on a bad mridanga because it's so inspired. You just pick it up and say, well, I didn't know I could do that. If you have a really good guitar and you plug it in and the right effects, you'll be playing like crazy because it's so good. It causes you to play naturally, right? You have that experience, or whatever it is, drums or trumpet. Or I was trying to relate it to cooking. I don't know if it's the same. Maybe it is. You get like the fresh ingredients, knife, super stove, everything convenient, everything in the right place. Yeah, you do better, right, without having to try because of the environment you create. This is why men propose to women they want to marry at some very expensive, elegant restaurant, not at McDonald's. It doesn't work at McDonald's. The atmosphere, when you're in that atmosphere, the guy's got his, what he's going to say, but you get in the right atmosphere, you just say it. It's not going to work at McDonald's. You need your paper at McDonald's, but you get in the right atmosphere, you'll just say, it'll come out. If I'm giving a class and everybody's like this, I can't speak. It's not the right atmosphere. Sometimes I give class and then someone will see me after class and they'll say, that class was really important. I think you should give that everywhere. I go, I can't, because that audience would just pull it out of me. I don't even know what I said. Can you tell me what I said? It's like that, right? So when you create the right environment, naturally your japa is better without trying. So now, is it easy to turn off your life? It's going to take practice. But I want to emphasize that if you can master this, everything else is downhill from there. And if you don't master this, you're going to get stuck in trying to properly chant. Because there's going to be interference with flying thoughts, invading your mind and taking you away. And you're chanting, basically daydreaming. And after a few rounds, you realized, oh my Govinda, I didn't hear one mantra. I was off, planning this, doing that, thinking about this. We had a forgiveness workshop, and so we asked, what are the costs of resentment? Like, what do you pay for it? One devotee said, I pay with bad japa. I said, why is that? He said, because the person I resent, I think about during my japa. And the more I chant, the more I resent them. And by the time I finish my rounds, I'm ready to kill them. Have you ever had that experience? Like you get the opposite result. You think, this devotee, they're so bad, what they said, this is, how could they say that? If I see that devotee, I'm going to tell them. And by 16 rounds, you're ready to hope I don't see them because I'll probably kill them. Isn't that interesting? That you could chant Hare Krishna and you could, so that's the problem. So we're going to practice now, trying to create a space where we don't have anything to do, where we tell our minds, right now, you have nothing to do. You're not in Austin. There's no time. There's just now. The power of now, Japa. What do you think? You know that book, The Power of Now? It was written for Japa. Nobody knows it. The power of now, Japa, we're going to do. We're just going to be now. You don't have to think about, I'm giving you all permission not to think about anything else. You don't have to think about your kids. You have to think about what you're going to do when you get home. You don't have to think about the dirty dishes. You don't have to think about what you have to do tomorrow. You have my permission not to think about it. When we do japa retreats, we ask devotees, what does the holy name mean to you? And I say, for me, the holy name is a vacation spot because I can get away from everything. Like, why would I want to be with all my anxieties and troubles while I chant japa? I got 22 more hours to think about them. Why would I want to think about them during japa? So this is the perfect place to set it aside, to get centered, connected to Krishna, and a lot of those troubles, they just kind of blow away. So, now you might be wondering, how do we let everything go? Very easy, let it go. There is no science behind it. The science behind it is understanding the need to do it. And we're going to chant, and periodically, I'm going to remind you to let it go. To just let your life go. Before you begin chanting, whatever you have to do to let your life go, just drop it somehow or other. And just take this we'll chant a round or two, just take this time as free bonus time. You have nothing else to do now but chant. Imagine everything in your life right now is being taken care of by somebody else. You have to think about it. It's all your emails, all your WhatsApp, all your cleaning, it's all being done by somebody else. You have to think about it. Can we do it?
Sorry, just a moment before you start.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, if anyone doesn't have beads, please raise your hands. Sakshi Gauranga Prabhu is getting beads passed around. Thank you.
So before you begin in your own time, however long it takes, I would like you to decompress from your life. Just, like when you come home from work, and you kick your shoes off, you go in your most comfortable chair, you want to forget everything and just come to the present. So something like, okay, We'll just chant a little bit, and I'll remind you periodically. If your mind starts wandering, just get back and turn it off and remind yourself that real japa means to be present. That's what it means. Just remind yourself, this is real japa. We're doing real japa now. Okay? Are you ready for real japa? This could be the first time in your life. Done real japa. Okay? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, turn off your life. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama. Turn off your mind, you don't need it. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. You don't have to think about anything else other than the japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Go into Krishna's world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Okay. So just wanted to give you a little taste and practice. And now I want to ask if anyone would like to share their experience, either good or bad. And we have 2 microphones, right? Belinda. So just raise your hand and Partha will bring. And then I guess you have one? You can bring to the ladies. I think it's on.
My experience is that I felt like, in previous experiences, I feel like, I want to do this, I want to do this. I feel like just being present with the Holy Moon, that would allow me to do anything that I think of I want to do so much better.
Beautiful. For those of you who didn't hear exactly, he said that a lot of times he thinks about things he has to do, but if he just focuses on the Holy Name, he knows he'll get the Shakti to do them even better. Yes? Brihat.
At a similar point, I was realizing that I have faith in my own intelligence, not in Krishna, and that's why I think I need to use my intelligence during japa to plan what I need to do, rather than understand that Krishna's taking care.
Yeah. Sometimes Bhakti Siddhanta would say, you can't do anything to save the world. Only Krishna can do. Yes?
Just really having, I guess, giving for us to come off our mind, for me, it's really profound because most of the time in my mind there's a lot of fear, and it really takes me away from really being in my heart, and especially while doing Japa, there's so much fear that just runs through my mind, and like being able to turn that off is like just completely just where I just have that holy name and it's just me, and it's just so grounded. It's that feeling.
Thank you for that. You're absolutely right, 100%. You were looking for the word to describe it. I was going to say, wow. It is so wow. Because Krishna is so wow, and you're connecting with Krishna. Yeah, this is just the beginning of wow. Wow, level 1. It's just it can get a lot better than wow. And when you hit wow is when you hit your number of rounds, whatever it is, 4, 8, 16. You want to keep going. It's like, I can't stop. This is too good. And remember I said my vacation spot? I can go to that place. Okay. It's so sweet. You get in there, you don't want to come out. It's amazing. All right, who has the mic? Yes.
Well, oftentimes, I don't know about others, but whenever I chant, I end up sometimes I feel like one round has gone on for a little too long, and just kind of await the end of the round.
Right.
But I guess the way that you said it, that kind of stops. It really helped me not anticipate the end, more so just chanting.
Yes.
And not only does it help in chanting, I think it could help in just anything, just constantly. Just focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. The number is there just to regulate us. So we know that we're chanting prescribed number. But the number is a tool. And of course we commit to a number, but it's a tool. And a lot of times we think the number is the goal. Or pure chanting is the goal. The number is just a tool to help it. And if you think the number is the goal, then you'll chant any way possible, and you'll think, well, I've done my rounds. When in fact, you may have done a lot of thinking while you were chanting. Thank you for that. Yes?
I was trying to really just turn off my mind and focus. And as I started trying to do that, my mind kind of felt like it was just exploding with all these kinds of things to think about. Not even just things like shapes. And after a while, I was able to kind of get to the stillness and started listening a little bit.
But what you can do, he was saying it was hard to turn it off. Think of turning off your life more than your mind, because your mind's part of your life. As if your life is off, your mind has nothing to do. It's kind of like if you change an activity. So that you were working all day and you say, I just want to go home and read. It's like you've turned all that off. Once that's off, now you can focus on your reading. If you're thinking about anything uncompleted, you start anxiety about it, it's really hard to read. So we're actually doing it when we read, we're doing it if we watch a movie. We're definitely doing it when we're eating. If you want to see samadhi in action, just look at devotees when they eat. There is, the Russians, after Ukraine could come to the U.S., you wouldn't even notice they were here. They were taking prasada, isn't it? You ever notice that? How I always tell devotees, I see them eating and I say, if you chant as sincerely as you're eating, you'll go back to Godhead tomorrow. So if you think in terms of your life, it's just like it is an offense to the holy name for me to be in my life while I'm chanting, just as it would be offensive to you for me to be thinking about everything in my life while you're talking to me. So now this is time for Krishna. Or if you're a parent, you have to be present to your children. You have to listen. So, okay, now we're turning our life off. Once we do that, I want to help you get to the point where you don't have to turn your mind off, because everything's off. Your mind, your senses, your whole consciousness is now on the holy name. So it's all off. So there's no need to battle it. And all you have to do when the mind is doing that is don't just focus on the mind, just focus on everything. Say, oh, I've got to turn it all off. That'll be easier than dealing with individual thoughts. So basically, when our mind is active, we've given it permission to be active while we chant. And we just don't, just the whole package is off, it's on the off button, the whole package. So there's no permission. Right? You have to study, and your friends are like, hey, come on. Once you've made that commitment to study, it's just like, no, I can't. It's very easy. You don't know, I'd really like to go. I don't know. I feel guilty if I go. Or maybe I just go for 10 minutes and I'll come back. None of that, because you've already just decided, I'm not going to do it. So when you turn off everything, it's just like that. There's no battle. And that's what we want to get to. And if I can impregnate within you, your consciousness, that this is the most fundamental beginning of chanting, this is what it is, and that thinking in your mind is not chanting, it's some shadow of it. If you can really get that, then, and you can get it deeply, it's very easy and natural to just come to this state, because you'll always realize this is the state I'm supposed to be in when I'm chanting. Anything else is not proper. Now, one second. Now, knowing this, I would like you to remember or think of a time when you were chanting with some devotee who was really absorbed. Maybe your guru, maybe the Prabhu or Prabhu Rini next to you. Trying to be politically correct here, I don't know. That's why I just say devotee. You don't get into trouble. Sitting next to the devotee who's just chanting really well, and you will now probably recognize they weren't really present there. They weren't really in that room. They were there with the deities, with Prabhupada or their mantra. You could see it, you could feel it, you could touch it, taste it, smell it, right? And now I will imitate the devotee who is not there, but is totally in their life. It looks something like this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. All the signs of thinking, right, on the face. Isn't it? It is. As opposed to the devotees who absorb, what does it look like? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right? Face is the index of the mind. So if you're aware of this and you kind of embody the right feeling, consciousness when you're chanting properly, you become more aware when you're not chanting properly. One of the things that happens when you try to do this is you catch yourself much more quickly. They say, sometimes I didn't catch myself for 8 rounds. Now I catch myself on the 4th beat. So many devotees have said that once they start doing this, because you are trying to do it right, catch yourself. If you're just trying to schnick your way back to Godhead, you're going to end up in Schnickaloka, not Krishna. You can't cheat the system. And the schnickadoodles will come for you, and you go, you'll say, who are you? And they go, I'm schnickadoodle, I'm wamadoodle. They, why did you come? Because you called me, schnick, schnick, wama. You know, and you call that Japa. All right, so. You want to do a play on Sunday? The schnickadoodles have come. Ajamil. So Prabhupada said, if you chant 16 rounds and follow 4 principles, you can go back to Godhead. But there's a quality to it. So tonight, this is one thing I'm trying to impress upon you, and I want to impress upon you if I have time. What time do we have to? Okay, so one other thing I want to impress upon you, or maybe two if we have time, because I want you to take what you're learning tonight and apply it tomorrow morning to your job and see if there's a noticeable difference. Yes, you were going to say something? No, oh, yeah, okay. Anyone else wanted to say anything?
I could say I like when you said the stages of chanting, like you can see Krishna Lila or be in Krishna Lila. And I just tried it right now. I was like, okay, let's just be in Vrindavan.
Yeah.
So when I did that, I felt myself more absorbed. It's almost like the body went away, almost.
Perfect. And you know, another meditation is, instead of let's see what it's like to be in Vrindavan, let's realize that we are there. Hare Krishna, yeah, we're with Krishna and Radha. So that's also another way of approaching it. It's like we're there and we don't know we're there. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Okay, so one other important lesson tonight I will introduce with, I'm going to see if I can have one of those microphones and see if you can hear this. Okay, wait. You've probably heard this before, but let me see if you can hear it. It will apparently seem like this has nothing to do with chanting, but it has everything to do with chanting. So that's the hint for you to see the connection. Now I have to figure out where the sound comes out. I think it's the bottom.
The real thing is bhakti. What you can offer to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. What you have got, what is your value? And what is the value of your things? There is nothing. Therefore, the real thing is bhaktya. Real thing is your feeling. Krishna, kindly take. I have no qualification. I am most rotten fallen. But I have brought this thing for you. Please take. This will be accepted. Don't be bhakta. Always be careful. The being of Krishna. And when you touch it, and do it.
I'm not sure you could all hear that, so I'm going to summarize. How many of you could hear? No problem. Yeah. The essence of what he was saying is that I have no value. The things I have are of no value to Krishna. The only thing of value that I have is bhakti. That's what Krishna wants. We know that. Is that better microphone? Well, it was. Not anymore. Okay. So we know that. We know that's the essence, right? Bhakti mama vijananti. You can know me by bhakti. Offer me patram pushpam pulam tayam. You may bhakta prachiti. Offer me with bhakti. That's the essence, right? I want to shake you up right now. Can I shake you up? This is really going to shake you up a lot. I could get kicked out of this group for saying this, but I will say it anyway. I believe from 20 years of teaching Japa that one of the biggest obstacles is a misunderstanding of something Prabhupada said, which everybody says when they teach Japa, which has, in my mind, become one of the biggest obstacles. What did Prabhupada say? Just hear. Right? That just hearing has caused more mechanical Japa in our movement than any other statement, I believe, because it's a mechanical process, just hear. And that's the only instruction we generally get, is just hear. What is the problem? Prabhupada only gave it once, that instruction. It was only given one time. Now, to my knowledge, you might find it wasn't, but if you look at the whole body of instructions on the holy name, by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and the whole instruction of what is bhakti, what will you find? What Prabhupada said in this lecture summarizes everything. Krishna doesn't need anything. He just wants your bhakti. And often when devotees are just trying to hear, it becomes so mechanical that the bhakti becomes forgotten. And this just trying to sit straight here, I'm not saying that we don't do that. But oftentimes I tell devotees, I say, that's not the essence. The essence is the devotion. You're praying, you're begging to Krishna. How many times did Prabhupada say chanting is the crying of a child? I heard Prabhupada give a lecture, some child was crying. Just like that, you should cry for Krishna. Then there was a dog barking. Just like that, you should cry for Krishna. And we're saying, just here? That's all you have to do? No. That's a problem. It's a real problem. When you go from mechanical to heartfelt, then you actually enter the essence. Now, something extremely interesting. There was a book compiled by my godbrother in which he interviewed people about Japa. And he interviewed younger devotees, senior devotees. All the senior devotees said the same thing. It's all about feeling. That's what they all said. Every one of them. None of them said it's all about hearing. Pretty interesting, isn't it? When I teach this to people, the first reaction is, but how do you feel and hear? That's the first reaction. It defaults to mechanics. But I have to be able to hear. And I'm like, if you're praying, begging, crying, you're not hearing? It doesn't make any sense to me. So we've got such a mechanical approach to it that we're still asking, I don't know how I can feel and pray and cry and still hear. Like, you're way beyond hearing now. You're completely absorbed. So, prayers of Queen Kunti. Queen Kunti says, only those who are materially exhausted can chant your name with feeling. In the purport, Prabhupada said, it all depends on feeling. It's everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And then I give Japa retreats and say, Prabhu, how long should it take to chant one round? Oh my God, did you not understand anything I was saying? How do you properly pronounce it? Can you stand up? Must I look towards the east? All mechanical questions. They all come from this just hearing. It's all mechanical. It doesn't matter. One man said to Prabhupada, he said, your devotees do not pronounce the Hare Krishna mantra properly. Prabhupada said, yes, I know, but Krishna knows who they're calling. So now you have, check this out, it's really important. You have a whole movement of people who are not chanting the main mantra that's going to liberate you properly. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. That's not how you say it. Well, if you're in Bengal, it's Hare Krishna. That's not how you say it. Hare Rama. Who's this Rama? You know who Rama is? I never met Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So wherever you go, practically, everyone's chanting it wrong. Hare Krishna, I'm a nice American. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. How are you? All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All wrong. You're all chanting it wrong. How is it that we're chanting a mantra improperly and we're all becoming purified? It's only because we're crying out to Krishna, please, please engage me in pure devotion. That's the essence. That's the essence. Did I shake you up enough? This is just my realization. Maybe I'll be kicked out of ISKCON tonight when this gets out. How could you say that? I don't want to say it's wrong to hear. That would be crazy for me to say that. Maybe Prabhupada said it. But I've seen how it's ritualized japa to a point where it's not heartfelt, and we get all these questions. I had someone ask me at least 30 times, how long does it take to chant? I said, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. No, I need to know exactly. Okay, Prabhu, it's 6 minutes, 32 seconds, and 3 nanoseconds. Is that okay? It was like insane. 30 times I had to tell him. It doesn't matter. That's not the essence. So, tomorrow morning when you chant, what are you chanting? What are you supposed to feel? When Prabhupada says crying, what are you crying for? Oh, so many rounds of chant. I don't like to chant. No. I know that's what you cry for now. Prabhu, you're so advanced, you're crying. Oh, no, I'm crying because I hate chanting. What are we crying for? Krishna. Okay, so this is what we're crying for. I want to put it very simply. And tomorrow morning, after you clear your space, you can spend the next 2 hours just crying for this. Prabhupada said, when you're asking Krishna for service, simultaneously you're asking him to protect you from being engaged in Maya service, because that's all we've done for billions of lifetimes, is serve Maya, serve our false egos, serve our desires. It's all about us. And so we're praying, Krishna, I've realized now I'm your servant. I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to think that way. But I need your help because I'm helpless. Please help me develop the desire to serve you and turn away from Maya. I've fallen into this world. I turn my back on you. I regret it. I feel guilty. I feel ashamed. I know you're waiting for me in the spiritual world. I know you love me. The only problem with this relationship is I don't love you. Please help me love you. Please help me become pure. That is japa. That's it. Not shnick, shnick, rom, rom. Going fast. Yeah, then your happiness is you got them done in an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, it was the best day of my life. This is what we're supposed to be doing when we're chanting. We've turned everything off. Now it's just us and Krishna, and we can ask him, please give me pure bhakti. Could you imagine if 2 hours every day, everything was turned off and you were in that mood, what would happen to you? Oh my God. You might actually make advancement. What do you think? Yeah, it'd be incredible, right? Like we would be flying up in Krishna consciousness. Imagine a Hare Krishna movement of people chanting like that. Maya's finished. It's all over. Kali will be dead in his tracks. But you have a movement of shnick, shnick, nom, 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 shnick, shnick. No, 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 shnick, 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 no. Nom, 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 shnick, 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 no. Hey, shnick, Rama Rama. Snicker snicker. Rama 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 Rama. Snicker snicker snicker. Prabhu, wake me up when I finish my round. where are we going to go with that movement? With that, it's like, how are we going to conquer Maya? And Maya's looking at us, going, I got him, I got him, I got him. They're all useless. They're not going to do anything. So this is what I wanted to teach you tonight. Create the environment and cry for pure bhakti. Because you all want it, that's why you're here. It's so easy to do because it's what you want. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Premanandi. So, tomorrow we're going to meet, and I'm looking forward to hear how your japa went tomorrow morning. So please try to create that space, get up early, and pray, cry for Krishna. And hopefully tomorrow will be amazing, and we'll come back and we'll share more, and we'll take it to the next level. Oh, questions?
Prabhu, is it possible to do a 10-minute kirtan?
It is possible. Yeah, okay. Very possible. Hey, all right. Kirtan.
I did it outside.
Yeah, ask.
It's already there.
So we have, I have some books, and we have a Japa affirmations book outside, and we have some USB sticks with how many? 32 lectures, or 30, I don't know, 32 gigabytes, 450 hours of lectures, 700 hours of lectures, and 30 hours of kirtan music, and we have t-shirts. And she's wearing one. You can buy it right off her if you want. It says when all problems stop when the kirtan starts. We only have one of each. You can order them online. And if you turn around, it says all problems stop all problems start when the kirtan stops.
That's cool.
So we have a website. I just told you. Okay. One question, and then we'll do kirtan. Yes? You have a question?
Thank you for that point, because I've always heard that all you need to do is listen.
Yeah.
Because the names themselves, they purify you, so you
Yeah.
need to listen to them.
Yeah.
And I was also told that how can you pray and listen at the same time? And because just the mantra itself is a prayer crying out to Krishna. So my question is our prayer, if you're saying to pray while we chant japa, is that more of like the feeling that we
Yeah,
do?
it's a feeling, yeah. It's the heart. It's the heart. It's not intellectual. I mean, you're praying to Krishna through the mantra. How could you not hear it if you're actually begging? But if you just clear the space out, you naturally hear it, because there's nothing else to hear, because your mind is now in the off position. When you have your mind in the on position, you're trying to hear, and the thoughts are coming, and you're battling and trying to hear, get rid of the thought, if I can hear it. And it's like, I don't know. That's not the way I want to chant. It's hard. But once you get in the zone, japa zone, then it all just happens naturally. Yes.
Sorry. We read these affirmations every day, and I think they might be from you.
They might be.
I turn off my world and I turn off Krishna's world
when
I chant my own.
That's it, yeah.
So, can you clear this confusion that I have? Because if it's like I'm turning off my world, then it seems like I'm turning off my emotions.
No.
I'm just like listening, and that's Krishna's
You're not turning off your emotions. You're turning off your world, and your world, which is your to-do list. Or in my case, your no time to-do list. All those things, and all those people that hurt you, and all those. Your emotions you're using for prayer. That's what you want to engage your emotion. Cry for Krishna. Please give me pure bhakti. Because the holy name means I need help. So we're praying to Krishna to help us. That's what we're doing. So we're spending 2 hours just begging help. What beautiful, beautiful thought, a beautiful way that I often think is, Krishna loves me and I don't love him. So Krishna, I'm praying that I can reciprocate with your love. But just help me reciprocate with your love. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So the emotion can come out in so many ways. But that's not turning your world off. That's turning your world to Krishna. That's Krishna, make me qualified to serve you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Krishna, help. Help with what? What do you need help with? Don't get mental. Just let it flow. Okay, we have kirtan. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I guess I'll sit down here.
Let's praise Mahatma
Put it here.
Prabhu ki.
Too high. Yeah.
So please, a huge round of applause for Mahatma Prabhu for the part one of this session.
Go around, go. Go around.
As we're getting set up here for Kirtan, I had promised Mahatma Prabhu I was going to introduce him without actually reading from his bio. So it's always hard because to glorify someone like Mahatma Prabhu who's been in this movement for over 40 years and sharing the importance of Japa with everyone, it's so powerful. Over 15 years ago, I think I attended his retreat in Toronto. And I remember when he started off that retreat, maybe actually more than 15 years ago now. It was, he started off by giving us this exploration exercise, and I don't know if you're going to do that tomorrow or not. If you are, I'm sorry for doing a spoiler alert.
Remind me.
But Prabhu started off by telling, imagine if the holy name of Krishna didn't exist.
Yeah.
Just imagine the name Krishna and his names don't exist at all, which means you don't have kirtan, you don't have japa, you don't have each other's names if you're initiated, because just essentially the name of Krishna doesn't exist. And the only thing that is stopping from that to happen is this one round of japa that you're doing. And then after that round of japa, the name of Krishna would just go away. And chants like that. And I had, I think I had just started chanting 16, I was before I got initiated. I grew up in this movement, and that was the first time I think I chanted with so much of this eagerness, because I'm like, oh my God, people's names will not be there tomorrow. Like the deities won't have names. And it was such a profound journey, and it's 15 years, it's still stuck with me. And I remember when I went to India, when we were driving and you see the names of Krishna and Rama on the stories, I think of Mahatma Prabhu every time, because I'm like, what if those names don't exist on the stories, and what a tragedy it would be. But this is the kind of power Mahatma Prabhu has. And anyone here for the first time who has never heard from Mahatma Prabhu before? Jai, wonderful. You're in for a blissful experience this weekend. This was just the teaser. Tomorrow we have a longer session starting at 11 a.m., finishing at 1:30 p.m. This weekend is like starting from, this whole week has been such an auspicious week. It started off with Advaitacharya's appearance day, Bhishmashtami, disappearance of Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. Today is Bhaimi Ekadashi, tomorrow is Varaha Dwadashi, and then we get ready. Sunday we get a little bit of a break, and then Monday is Nityananda Trayadashi. So what an auspicious time to get together to meditate on chanting Krishna's name. So we're so grateful to Mahatma Prabhu for taking time out of his busy schedule to come here and help us dive deeper into the holy name. We look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Very good. I forgot I did that exercise. I entered as another exercise where it's like, okay, this is your last 5 minutes of your life, your last round.
I think you said 6 minutes and 32 seconds.
This is your last 6 minutes and 32 seconds and 3 nanoseconds. And one lava mantra. Who's our Madhama Shivadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vicharini Visesa Sinivani Vishyasya Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare So, thank you for coming. Tomorrow we'll do more kirtan, and I will play a song.